Hi, it's Michelle Nesky, the Posh PA School admissions expert, back to answer the question today. Is being a PA all it's cracked up to be? I know. It's a question I get a lot, and I think it's valid, right? I think it really depends on certain perspectives, but I'm going to give you mine today. But before I do, if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button. I'm here every week dropping new tips to help you get into PA school, become a successful student, and a fulfilled practicing PA. All right, so is being a PA all it's cracked up to be? You may hear that the PA profession is in demand and everybody wants to be a PA and all the things, but is it really what people say it is? Well, I think that depends on your perspective, on your career goals, and on your personal goals. So let's talk about some advantages of being a PA. Number one, it's an extremely fulfilling career, okay? If you enjoy helping others through illness, if you enjoy the puzzle of medicine, it is very rewarding to have an impact on someone's life positively through medicine. It feels, I can't even explain it. It's heartwarming, it's invigorating, and it's very fulfilling in that way. So that's number one. Number two is that you can change specialties, right? So you have the ability to practice in any specialty across the lifespan. So that's a big appeal of this profession. I've been an oncology PA for 16 years, but if I decided next week that I wanted to go into dermatology, I could do that, right? I can look for a dermatology job without additional training. So that is an appeal of the profession. I need training, and would it take a little time? Absolutely, on the job, but you can do that. Next, it's a very collaborative environment. So if you're somebody that really likes to work on a team, then being a PA could be a great fit for a profession for you, okay? Because being a PA, you can practice autonomously, but you're always bouncing ideas off your nurses, off your physician, off your medical assistants, pharmacists. Everybody works together. It's not one person that is taking all the responsibility. And so if you really like to be in that environment, then this profession is all it's cracked up to be for you. It is a shorter training period. So while the time it takes to actually apply and get into PA school may be longer, the actual training program is only 24 to 36 months, right? So you're talking probably about 5 years in total with your pre-PA training and then your PA program and then going out into the world. But it is shorter than a lot of other health professions. And then job security, the PA profession seems to always be in demand. It's always one of the most rapidly growing professions in healthcare. And so there are jobs out there for PAs, and I think it's just a great profession to be in, especially right now. So what are some disadvantages then? Well, scope of practice, let's talk about it. So depending on the state that you work in, your scope of practice is going to be affected. In some states, after you've worked for a certain amount of years, you no longer need to be tethered to a supervising physician. However, in other states, it's more conservative, and you do need that supervising physician agreement with you at all times. And, there may be some restrictions on what you can prescribe in terms of narcotics and different medications like that. So there can be limitations on your scope of practice depending on the area that you work in and the state that you work in the US. So that's important to remember. The second thing is the stress, right? Emotional stress, physical stress of taking care of other people and patients can take its toll on you. We work with some very sick patients, and so managing your emotions around their situation, especially in specialties like ER and critical care and oncology, where there's a lot of death and dying, it can be very hard initially to manage your emotions around that, and it can lead a lot to emotional stress and, kind of really creating an emotional resilience within you to be able to handle these things day in, day out, right? So there may be times where you go in and you have a conversation with a patient that, there's nothing more you can do for them. And it's very sad. And you have to basically turn around and go into the next room and see someone else, right? So being able to develop that emotional resilience is something that you are gonna have to do in the profession. Work-life harmony, I talk about this all the time. A lot of people say that PAs have better work-life harmony. That is regardless of your profession. That is something that you create. It is not something that a profession gives to you. There are many PAs who are out there who are overworked and exhausted. So I really think it's important for you to realize when you're taking a job or when you're looking at different positions, what are the hours like? What is the call schedule like? How is that going to affect your home life? And really take all those things into consideration. And obviously bureaucracy, okay? Healthcare is a business and healthcare administration can be very challenging and it can get to you over a period of time. Paperwork and peer-to-peer authorizations and things that we need to work through just to get our patients medications and exams that they need, working with insurance companies and, fighting with them to try to get the medications they need. Those things are frustrating, period. But it is part of patient care and it is part of getting the patient the things they need to be healthy, to get through whatever they're going through. And it's kind of a byproduct of being in healthcare in general. So just some things to think about. So for me, being a PA is all it's cracked up to be because I have created my PA career and the way that I want it to look for me. And you can do that too, right? There were years that I spent in academic medicine, working really long hours in highly specialized settings, being a manager and a supervisor and things like that. And then there were years where I'm working in a community oncology practice with a better schedule and a little bit more flexibility. And so this profession really has grown with me as my personal life changed because, when I first graduated from PA school, I was in my late 20s, right? I didn't have a family at that time. And so as my life has changed and as I've moved multiple times with my husband, Dave, who's a surgeon now, we moved multiple times for his training and I was able to find a job and I was able to grow in my career. And then now with a child, create a work-life harmony that I love. And so to me, I think that this career is all it's cracked up to be. And I think you can make it that way if you want it to. So I hope this video helped answer that question for you. If you have any additional questions, drop them in the comments.